Welcome back, my lovely friends. If you're new, my name is Rachel. I'm a stay at home wife and mother to two toddler boys and a couple of pups. Today, I am sharing a dirty little secret with you, a room I have neglected to deep clean in roughly 2 years. I've finally had my fill of the filth, so today I will be rolling up my sleeves and scrubbing it from floor to ceiling and creating a cozier space for our fur babies. So this is a part of my house you've never seen before, for good reason. One of the bulbs is out up there and there's a ton of cobwebs, and I've literally probably only cleaned that chandelier like once or twice. There's cobwebs over in that corner. Yuck. And the windowsill over there is just disgusting. Actually, all that window and the shutter and everything, because the dogs stay up here and because our backyard is a mud pit most of the time, but currently it's dry, so it's a dirt pit. So we get a lot of dust and dirt up here. I'm being kind of quiet because my sons are asleep. They're taking a nap for once. We did have some paper shades right there and the dogs ripped them down. I'm gonna have to get some kind of frosted glass window cling or something to put there for a more permanent solution. I might leave the bottom one that you can see out of because the dogs like it, but we have their crates up here for when we leave the house. It rained last week and the week before that off and on, so it's kind of muddy and stuff, but I mean, we'd be taking the crates out and spraying them literally every day if that were the case, and we really can't do that. So what I did, I actually bought them some metal crates in those boxes back there. I got them a dog bed. Don't mind that ride-on train that the grandparents got. And much of the stuff up here is my stuff that I took out of my office right there a couple of months ago. Well, maybe like 4 months ago now, and it's still sitting out here because I was originally going to put some of the stuff in the garage closet. We have shelving in there, but it was cram-packed full of stuff. I just got rid of most of the stuff off of one of those shelves, so I can move some of this stuff out, but I also just need to go through it and see, do I really want this stuff, or can I go ahead and get rid of it? But anyway, what I'm focused on right now is kind of clearing this area out, cleaning it, cleaning the crates, throwing the crate pans away, replacing them with the metal ones. I got a rug from Ollie's that my husband picked up actually to put in here because, as you can tell, the floor in certain spots is really, really bad, and that's from when we had a previous rug in here. It wasn't carpet, it was, I don't even know what material it was. It was picked up from one of the Office Depot or Office Max places, and we thought if the dog had an accident in their cage that it wouldn't seep through, but it did because it was a porous rug. We should have known better. But anyway, so that happened over time and we didn't even know about it. So I need to get a lot of this stuff out of here, like I said, and go through it, and then clean all this stuff up. So my husband helped me clear the wall with the window of all the storage tubs and other random junk that I had accumulated there. We moved most of that out to the garage, and I will leave that for another day to go through and decide what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. None of which is going back into this room, by the way. So then I quickly moved on to getting the crate pans and checking to make sure that they weren't damaged. They were okay for the most part. This larger crate pan had a very sharp edge on it. I actually forgot about it. I leaned it up against the wall and ripped the back of my arm open. So I had to take a metal file and put in some elbow grease to get that knocked down. And as you can see, there were some other kind of superficial spots that were on the top of the crate pan. I imagine it's because of the very primitive packaging that Amazon fashioned out of 2 pieces of cardboard and tape. Lady's crate pan, however, came in an actual box and it looked absolutely flawless. I ordered the dogs a new memory foam bed, so I wanted to get it unwrapped and laid flat to expand and air out any odd smells. Luckily, this bed came in 2 pieces that were fully contained in their own zippered covers. All of the creasing came out and there was no smell, which I appreciated since this is not the first time I've spent really good money on memory foam beds for the dogs. But in the past, they've literally eaten the bed within a week's time. And I think it may have something to do with the smell of the foam. This one didn't have any, so we'll see how it fares going forward. If you can believe it, I had only not cleaned the floor in here for like the last few weeks. So unfortunately, like I mentioned before, our backyard is a mud pit, so the floors get really gross really fast. I typically do have to sweep and mop the floor every other day or so in this room. And that's typically all I ever get done, it feels like, unless there's an accident that one of the dogs has and I have to bring the crate and pan outside to scrub it down and hose it off. But as far as deep cleaning goes, I have not done that in this dining room for 2 years, and it is incredibly embarrassing. And, I just really don't have an excuse other than I have not set aside the time to devote to it. But I'm doing that today, and I am getting it back to a more manageable place so that I can include this room in my normal cleaning routine from now on. I'm curious to know who else's light fixtures are absolutely covered in dust. Just mine? Okay.
Go
If I had to choose my least favorite chore, it would be the dishes. However, cleaning shutters are a very close second. As you can see, the ones in the front room have collected a ton of dust over the last couple of years, and I used to have to basically dedicate an entire day in every microfiber cloth in the house in order to clean them. Well, I upgraded my vacuum at Christmas, and I got the Shark Multiflex Duo Clean Fins, something. It's a super long name. I'm sorry. I will link it in the description, but it has this really unique attachment, as you saw in the previous clip, and it just sucks the dust right off of each of the shutter blades, which is insane. It took me no time at all to clean these, and I just had to go back with one microfiber cloth to touch up the corners of each one just to make sure to get any little remnants in the corners of dust or dirt. But this was a total game changer, and I scored this thing for $200 for Black Friday. I got it from Bed Bath & Beyond. It's originally more than $400, but it was on a Black Friday deal for $250, and then it said it was ineligible for coupons, but I plugged in a code and it worked. So I got this thing for $200, and it was money well spent.
Knowing your body feels so tired to get out of bed. You pour your heart on a letter to chase it away. Got sad and it's all because of you. Hey, what's gonna give you more time for breath?
I am continually impressed by my Shark vacuum. It came with 3 attachments. I am using the crevice tool here and just picking up all of the surface dust and dirt. And then I followed that up with some Method all-purpose cleaner. I let that sit for a few minutes, and then I took just a sponge with some Dawn dish soap and wiped out the windowsill.
Know what they say, only time will tell. You know what they say, it never really can. When I'm sleeping with someone new, I just close my eyes and think of you. When I'm sleeping with someone new, I can't help myself, I wonder if you still feel the way I feel. Are you sleeping with someone new, someone new, someone?
You'll notice I've been cleaning this room from top to bottom, starting with the ceiling cobwebs and wall art, then the light fixture and window. Cleaning in this order ensures I don't have to do the same chore twice. So next I'm wiping down the window before moving on to the floor and baseboards.
Talking about my bed as like it ever mattered. You threw it away, and now you're looking back, wishing that we got buried. Know what they say, only time will tell. You know what they say, did I ever really care? I don't think I did. When I'm sleeping with someone new, I just close my eyes and think of you. When I'm sleeping with someone new, I can't help myself, I wonder if you still feel the way I feel. When somebody calls you back, are you sleeping with someone new, someone new, someone?
Before making a second pass with my Bissell Crosswave, I went ahead and gave the dogs a bath, Then I came back and swept everything from along the baseboards into the center of the room. And if you have a Crosswave that's at least a few years old, you'll know the brush roll doesn't fully extend to the edges of the machine, therefore leaving a 2-inch border of uncleaned floor around the entire room. So I just went perpendicularly to the first pass because the floors absolutely needed it. But this machine makes it so convenient to vacuum and mop the dog hair and mess at the same time. I'm not sure how I ever lived without it.
When I'm sleeping with someone new, I just close my eyes and think of you. When I'm sleeping with someone new.
Since my baseboards have an eggshell finish, they were super easy to wipe down. I could have easily gotten away with just using a damp microfiber cloth, but I was using my Method all-purpose cleaner because I was also cleaning the wall at the same time. However, my walls are a matte finish, so ultimately I had to go in with a magic eraser and gently remove some of those muddy stains, and then I did just re-wipe the wall down to get rid of some of the streakiness. So I'll spare you the footage of cleaning out the Crosswave. The water was jet black and there was a couple inches of sludge and dog hair in the collection tank. So I took it outside and cleaned it in the yard. And then I came back inside to start putting the room together for the dogs. So I ended up going with a tarp from Harbor Freight. It was literally $3. And I did that instead of having a rug protector or anti-slip grip underneath, just because I really didn't want anything, accidents or otherwise, to go straight through to the floor. I had my husband run down to Ollie's Bargain Outlet and video call me so that I could pick out a rug for the space, and I went with this nice blue color. It just coincidentally matched the piping on the dog bed. I promise I was not trying to coordinate anything, but I love the fact that it is big enough. The color was nice. I did like that the pile was not too thick or thin. So it's not thin enough that it wouldn't be comfortable for the dogs to lay on if they did not want to lay in their crate or the bed. But it's not so thick that it's going to get hair and dirt embedded into it, which I can really appreciate. It's also bound on all 4 sides, which shocked me because their ad specifically calls them rug remnants or roll end remnants. So I really was not expecting them to be finished edges, but they are, luckily. And then, of course, I got the dog bed and crates from Amazon. I'll be sure to also post the links there if you're interested. Not really worried about any accidents coming through onto the rug because they're metal crate pans. And unlike the plastic ones that come with the crate that split apart within 6 to 8 weeks of your dog laying on them, or at least my dogs, and consistently so. These I am not worried about breaking, and I already took care of the high spots on some of the corners, so these are good to go, and I'm just loving how it all turned out. Side note, the lid to our dog food container was broken, so I just quickly transferred that over into an IKEA Nod trash can that I already had. It was just in my office taking up space, and it was better utilized here. Let's take a moment to remember how chaotic and filthy this room was before. And how calm and peaceful it is now after a thorough clean and declutter. While I realize this wasn't an insane transformation, it certainly does make my OCD, minimalist wannabe heart happy. And I hope the fur babies love it just as much. I'd like to thank you so much for being here, whether newly subscribed or returning. I'm incredibly grateful for each of you, and I'll see you again very soon.